Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Andrew Lowsutea, president. How? Well, it's great to talk to you guys again because today actually is a very important webinar to help many people to understand what is a silent heart attack. Heart attack. So when I was an ICU nurse in Hawaii, ER nurse, I've treated many people coming to heart attack, and many people basically, really, if they recognize the good sign and symptom, they will not have that serious problem actually getting heart attack. And so net result, a lot of people don't, sometimes they come in, they say, oh, I have a stomach problem. I'm really tired. I got pain on my shoulder. But naturally, those guys are all really had an actual heart attack symptom. So then some people say, I strained my neck. Oh, well, there are all kind of these problems. However, really at the end of the day, they just didn't recognize that potential heart attack. If they have come in slightly earlier, the treatment will be less serious, but not net result. I have even actually had people comes in have that as symptom, but heart stop, and then we have CPR, da da da, ICU, da, da, oh, all kind of problem. But there's also a chance that you don't survive, or you could survive, will be good, but you never know. That's the problem. And so I thought it would be great to at least let you guys alert to you and say, okay, what is a real signs of heart attack? So you understand and watch. And a lot of time also understand, well, when is you good to see the doctor, maybe getting an echocardiogram or one of the scan that you got, understand do you have a high blockage and so forth. So today, that's a really good webinar to help you to better understand potential heart attack. So shall we start? I think this is going to be a very, very informative, and I think will be a very helpful webinar to help you to understand what is potential heart attack. So that's today's webinar. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. Well, okay, so the real today I want to topic is okay, how heart attack being triggered, how to reduce the risk. And I think that is important because if you had a heart attack, you don't just go to a regular doctor. You have to go to emergency room immediately. That's what you gotta do. And so net result, that is the most important things to understand what step it is. And don't wait because you don't have time to wait. If you wait, the chances of survival is very low. So let's talk about, the agenda today. Basically, we talk about, what are commonly people overlooking the heart attack. You know what? There is a heart attack, but they didn't know that is a heart attack. So they figure they just wait or ignore, or some people say I might sleep it through. And so really a lot of things can happen. And how stress and sleep, lack of sleep, different type of meals that very heavy with the fat, and your daily routine come with all that potential also affect your heart, and that create heart attack. And what is many of the warning sign people literally ignore this heart attack. So with that result, they don't go to emergency, or they actually say, okay, I just go to simple doctor, and basically they decrease the lesser chance of survival. And basically, you can do very simple things to lower the risk of drastic change to a heart attack. And some of the question you need to ask your doctor, during your next visit and so forth. And how can Lowsutea can help you really lower your potential risk of heart attack? And so today is a full agenda, but I think this agenda will be very helpful for you. Now I noticed a lot today that a lot of people I somehow do not know in my system. I noticed quite a few new names in there, so I thought it would be good to always go through the four stages of how diabetic being formed. The first stage is your LDL cholesterol goes up, damage the B cells that coming out from your pancreas that takes sugar to the cell. When B cell damage, more and more sugar accumulate in the bloodstream, and LDL cholesterol blood sugar add together, your problem gonna start. They gonna form a lot of plaques throughout your vessel wall. Now, when your vessel wall become a lot of plaque, then space become less. Second stage will go on. The blood pressure will come up. And after that, you probably will have no pain, nothing, and you continue the same lifestyle, same type of food, no exercise. very quickly you move to the third stage, which is your pre-diabetic stage. Pre-diabetic stage, every doctor will measure the same old thing, or HbA1c. HbA1c. And when you get to measure HbA1c, then they will measure a percentage of sugar, your blood sugar attached to the hemoglobin. Everybody have hemoglobin, red blood cells. And then basically, if you have 5.7% and below your normal person, 5.7 to 6.4, now you come up pre-diabetic. But sad part is during pre-diabetic, doctors say, hey, you are pre-diabetic, but I have no drugs for you yet. But you need to change your lifestyle, like taking low-carb diet, low-fat diet. You have to exercise, you have to lower your weight, lower your BMI, and you have to keep measuring yourself so your blood sugar do not go, your HbA1c do not go over 6.4. Now, a lot of people listen to this here, but everything's kind of disappeared in a couple months. The one thing can help you, drinking Lowsutea, definitely help you to lower blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. And that is really help you to prevent you to go to stage 4, which is 2 to 3 years. If you don't do anything, A1C surpass 6.4, you become an official diabetic. When you become a diabetic, you can't go back. You will continue to be diabetic even though your blood sugar is actually lower than 6.4 and below. However, your record is always diabetic, so your blood, the insurance goes up, doctor bills goes up, everything. So unfortunately, you don't want to get yourself to be called a diabetic patient. So always try to get yourself below 6.4 your A1C. So that's why this lecture will be help you doing all that. Okay, so we talk about drinking Lowsutea. Why is Lowsutea? Well, Lowsutea has only 2 things in there. The first thing, that guava leaves to delay the blood sugar, absorbing the sugar into the blood vessel, so there's less sugar in the blood vessel. And then their guava leaf, which is their bitter melon. Bitter melon increase the insulin sensitivity and take the sugar back to the cells. Excess sugar and excess LDL cholesterol and salt, they will dump it out urine, and that is the magic, because when you dump it out urine, your blood sugar come down, your LDL cholesterol come down, and your salt come down. When your salt come down, your blood pressure come down. Plus, they also help you to detox. Now, our company do not just say, oh, well, drink Lowsutea. We do not. We want to make sure you know what is a diabetic, what's a pre-diabetic, and all the healthcare issue you are facing. So we have a weekly webinar, and we'll give you all the steps to help you to prevent your your health risks. So basically, you can say, okay, you can drink Lowsutea 6 to 8 times per day. You can drink Lowsutea 6 to 8 cups per day, which is a thing that you're gonna do. But you also have to limit your diet to low carb and low fat. You have to learn how to exercise 6 to 8, 10,000 steps per day. You have to control your weight. If your BMI is 30, you got lower to 23. You listen to our weekly webinar. You have to do your daily tracking, understand your food intake, your carbs intake, your steps you make. So all that is a system to help you. Now you say, wow, how do I do this? No problem. Because we have this lecture to help you out right here, the English YouTube lecture. You just write down www.youtube.com/@ctteas at Lowsutea, LOWSUTEA/video. Or you scan this code, this QR code. You can take a picture now, scan the code later, and you can actually capture. We have 400 lecture, and I understand that not many company have 400 lecture, English lecture, to help you to understand what is diabetic, why cholesterol is bad for you, how to lower your cholesterol, how to lower. So all that will teach you. Basically, it's free for you to take it. So take your time. You listen this anytime you want. So anyway, now we'll go back to the real lessons. Okay, so why heart failure is heart attack is so important? Why you have to understand? Because if you don't, you have a high risk to die, and we don't want you to do that. When you live well and enjoy life for a long, long time to go. So what is the heart for? The heart is very simple. They just pump a big pump to pump blood, deliver oxygen and nutrients while also removing waste of the body. So the heart is a very important function. Basically, just pump blood, boom, 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 pumping blood throughout the body. And the heart, if you're a good heart, you can always enjoy life, good living, a lot of energy. You can go climb mountain. But if you don't have a good, healthy heart, the problem is come. You have a serious condition that you have heart shortness of breath, you have hard time walking, your quality of life will substantial decrease. So protecting your heart is so important. Avoiding this disease, so you can maybe make sure you have all the freedom, independence, quality of life. So today we're going to talk all about that. So make sure that you understand what to do. So that will make a big difference for your life, basically. Now, in a normal heart flow, now I have a picture here, which is very important. So basically, first of all, how the heart work is you have deoxygenated blood enter the right atrium, okay, right heart, and then you can see the blue thing, the blood comes in, and basically go through the enter to the right atrium and move to the right ventricle and move up, and then go to your lung, get lung oxygen, lung come back, and then you come back to the same system, and the oxygen rich will return to left atrium and then left ventricle and pump out throughout the body. Basically, that's how it does. So very important. The heart work every day just like that. Now, there's several problems that you might occur if you don't take care of your heart. Now, heart disease, also known as cardiovascular disease, include like affecting the heart or blood vessels, such as the coronary artery. As you know, the heart have 5 arteries. Any one of these arteries plug up, you have a chance of heart attack. Plus, you might have the heart become so bad, you have heart failure, the heart become weak, and then you have valvular heart disease. Like for example, this type of valve here, it leaks and it doesn't work well. That's called valvular disease. And then you have, because of that, the heart become less effective pumping. So when you walk, you're shortness of breath. All these things will happen. And by the way, if you in the world, there's basically 17.9 million people death each year because of heart attack, and 4 out of 5 heart attack due to death. This death are due to either heart attack or stroke. So basically, it is a big number. So I want to make sure you understand your risk so you can able to prevent this risk. I want you to live. I want you to see all your grandchildren throughout, many, many years to come. So make sure that you have this opportunity. Now, what is heart attack? Okay. Now, heart attack as a medical name is called myocardial infarction. So that is heart attack. And basically what it means is your heart muscles are died here. So basically there are 5 major arteries in here, coronary arteries. So one of the artery basic is kind of blocked from blood coming through on the end is blocked, okay? So the blood flow don't get there, the muscle just don't get the nutrients, it will start dying. And so a lot of these, because of their plaques, they are like dislodged, or basically the plaque get big and it becomes blocking flow to the heart muscles. So this blocked artery to make your heart muscle just don't get any nutrients and you die. It's very simple. So basically you got to keep these coronary arteries, all the heart muscle to be very, very lot of blood flow coming through, no issue. So that is the most important objective you have to do. Now, this is serious because when the heart muscle does not get nutrient within 20 minutes, the heart muscle will die. Once the heart muscle die, it won't work, it won't pump anymore. One don't pump, you know what? You die, basically, because the blood cannot go through the body anymore. So this is something that you really got to work on and understand that. So how does it happen? Because sometimes the plaque inside a vessel, they either dislodge or start plugging up every artery, and the back end on this side of the muscle don't get nutrient and don't get the blood. So net result, the blood flow, because block, it doesn't go through. So as long as you block that, eventually this muscle will die. So that is how it happened to a heart attack. So at the end of the day, what is a symptom of heart attack? And usually there is always have chest issue here. So you find pressure at the chest, real tight. You feel like something's squeezing. Also, sometimes people have fullness of chest, and also that pain. Now, sad part is this pain lasts just few minutes. Oh, okay. And you thought that, oh, maybe I have stomach problem. Is not necessary. That's true, but in a sense, you have to keep monitoring and maybe go away for a little while. It could be, 10, 15 minutes, as even longer, and they come back and they keep coming back. And so you need to look at that and see what happened. Is it truly this is strictly a heart attack now? Unfortunately, a lot of people thought that, oh, I'm young. I'm 50 or 60 years old. I'm not going to have a heart attack. Not true. A lot of people, if they're young and they have 40, 50 years old and they have this kind of chest symptom, really kind of heart attack symptom, they even actually die. More people get killed because they ignore the symptom. So this is real. And I have a lot of young guys who come in 40, 50 years old, got a heart attack, and they will never think they has heart disease. A lot of them also have pain in the arm, right here, going up here. So they say, oh, I just tired here. Or I have pain here, radiate up at the shoulder here. Uh, a lot of these people, back pain, neck pain, jaw pain, stomach pain. So they thought that all that is not heart attack, is other stomach symptom or muscle symptom. Now, all that, if you ignore, and can be risky for you. Now, secondly, very important, you have shortness of breath without chest pain. That is a very important sign, especially shortness of breath. That's means your heart is not pumping efficiently. You have not getting all the oxygen, so you start getting difficult breathing, shortness of breath, and that's where your time with maybe no pain or no chest pain, you got to go to the hospital with emergency, not the doctor office. Now, certainly there are also cold sweat, nausea, feeling headache, and so forth. These are the very common signs of heart attack symptom. People might not necessarily recognize that, but you need to sort of be more alert to yourself that you gotta really, if you have this kind of problem, go to hospital, not go to doctor. Now, some of the risk factor for heart attacks, especially a diabetic, more so, you gotta really think about heart attack can be an issue. You might be overweight or obese. You always have poor diet. I love to eat a lot of fat stuff. I love to eat a lot of big steak, all that bad stuff. And also, I have a high cholesterol, meaning your high cholesterol is high. In Hong Kong will be people with 4 or 5 to deal. That is really, per liter. So they are really high cholesterol. So if you have high cholesterol, you have to watch. Also, high blood pressure. For example, your blood pressure is 220 and up. Wow, that is bad. So when you have high blood pressure, you have to really think of potential heart attack is high. And you have a sedation lifestyle, meaning I don't move much. I like to watch TV, especially people who are engineers, just keep working, and they gain a lot of weight. And that result, they have a real issue with a high weight, overweight. They sit down all the time. You can see the tummy become very big, and the heart really work hard because they're overweight. So the sedative lifestyle can be an issue. Now, also, a lot of people have excessive alcohol, so they drink whiskey, not only one glass of wine. This is excessive alcohol. That is a big issue. Plus smoking. So you're a big smoker, there's a chances of heart attack is high. So how do you trigger heart attack? Basically, that's important besides understanding, all the potential risks just now you saw. But now, how do you get heart attack? Now, one of the major things is stress. When you're stressed, your heart will continue to stress with it. And when you're stressed with it, that means your heart will increase its rate because they have to have higher heart rate to pump more blood to deliver oxygen to all the vital organs. And on top of that, unfortunately, a lot of times the blood vessels are constricted. So the blood vessel, because it's all narrow due to maybe a lot of cholesterol, a lot of plaques. So the essential part of the muscles you have to pump a lot in order to stress the heart, get the nutrient to the organ, so forth. So the narrow of the blood flow can be a very important issue to potentially get you heart attack. And then certainly elevated blood pressure. Now, a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people, I just have a blood pressure 160. But when you stress, your blood pressure suddenly go up higher and become much faster. And your narrow vessel make the blood pressure even higher. That is also stress to the heart and potentially get a heart attack. Now, also, a lot of people don't realize when you fight, your body will respond to say, hey, you got to do something because you have to fight now. So your heart would pump faster, you stress the whole cardiovascular system, your blood vessel becomes stiff and less elastic, which means that blood pressure continue to go up even further. If you continue long-term distress, you damage your blood artery vessels. Plus, if you have chronic stress, it become more stressful. You really gonna start forming a lot of bad habit come with it, because you will start smoking, eating uncontrollably. You're gonna get chips, keep eating chips, eating carbs to sort of satisfy this release stress. You start smoking, so all that will get worse in your blood pressure and increase the chance of heart attack. So basically, stress is also very, very really not good for you. You want to continue to limit this stress as much as you can, so you don't get overly stressed that cause your heart attack. Now, a lot of people don't realize if you lack of sleep can also cause heart attack. Now, every day we have 7 to 8 hours. I know a lot of people in Hong Kong, a lot of people in different part of the world, they sleep less. They sleep less than 8 hours. So then you just add on a risk, because when you sleep, you know what? Your blood pressure goes up. Your body will stress, your heart will pump faster because you don't sleep. So poor sleep, you also raise blood sugar. So raise blood sugar with cholesterol mixed together, you get more plaques and more clotting occur. Now, more so now, people don't realize you have sleep apnea. Like sleep apnea is like your back of the tongue's covered, your air pipe, and that result, your blood pressure goes up, and on top of that, your heart will also go pump fast because you can get your air going to air pipe. So sleep apnea is a strain to the heart and potential get you a heart attack and stroke. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize sleep apnea is one of the important issues. I think 90% of many of the sleep apnea patients don't even know they have sleep apnea. So you should go to check it out by a doctor to make sure you go through a sleep apnea machine check, so you make sure you do have sleep apnea. If you do, you need a CPAP machine to help you breathe so you don't get sleep apnea, because that will strike two things: heart attack and also stroke, which can help you with the sleeping machine. Now, a lot of people don't also realize heavy meal can strain your heart. In other words, you eat a large portion of fat food, and then with that, glucose and suddenly spike, and that result is stress your arteries, because now you eat a lot, suddenly your blood sugar keep rising and straining the artery, and also increasing the chances of clot your blood system. So especially people are diabetic. So holiday feast as a common trigger of heart attack. So really, at the end of the day, if you're diabetic, you should actually take small portion, balanced diet, mindful eating, reduce the risk without sacrifice, just enjoyment. You can still eat, but eat small quantity, and you can able to enjoy the holiday festive, but no risk of get heart attack. Imagine in the holiday, you supposed to enjoy yourself with family and friends, and now you get heart attack. You can end up to be hospitalized or even die. Oh, that would be terrible. So really do it to support yourself and your family. Be a little bit mindful to control your diet, not overeat, eat, and so forth. Now, A lot of people don't realize cold weather and also does expose cold weather exposure can increase the chances of heart attack. The reason is cold weather make the vessel become tighter and raise blood pressure and reduce oxygen to the heart. And this explains why, in the sense that when the time that more people got heart attack. So if that's the case, especially you're diabetic or you have the heart disease, you gotta dress warm and avoid sudden exhaustion of cold air, and make sure that you don't go to a lot of outdoor activities. And simply just we have to be understand that your blood vessel, when you're cold, you become tightened, raise blood pressure, and chances you get is high risk in winter months of heart attack. I have a friend with me years ago in China, and it was a cold day, and he actually got a heart attack in a hotel because it's real cold. And at the end of the day, we can't send him out of the hotel because when you go out of the hotel, there's no heat. And he had really cold and it will worsen heart attack. So end up we have to stay there. Basically, the hotel become a sort of semi-hospital for this individual. And so a doctor will go to the hotel to visit him to basically treat him there. So net result, you got to be very, very careful when cold weather. If you're elderly, a diabetic, cold weather, you got to make sure that you can make sure don't go to, expose yourself to strike out a heart attack. Okay, medication also could be potential related risk because a lot of the decongestion medication, like cold flu medication, can actually increase your blood pressure, go up, your heart rate goes up. And also some cancer drug and psychotic drug also affect your heart rhythm. So make sure that when you have that, you got to make sure that talk to your doctor and make sure whether you should start the medication, especially a diabetic heart disease. So always talk to the doctor because you don't know certain decongestion medication or some of these uh, cold and flu medication increase your heart rate tremendously, might be not good for your heart. Okay, now this is an important one because many of you listening to this lecture, you are diabetic or pre-diabetic. So if you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, you do have a high risk of heart attack because what happened is first, your blood sugar actually damages your artery because all the blood sugars affected your blood vessel become hardened, and it damaged your lining of the blood vessel, and it make the artery become stiffer, more narrow. Remember the cholesterol with sugar add together, forming plaque. All that will happen, and it also potential form clot and blockage of blood flow to the vital organ. So net result, that will trigger heart attack. Like for example, the coronary arteries, okay, there are 5 arteries. One of the artery has a lot of plaque. Eventually, the artery, the blood flow going to the end part of the muscles are not getting rich because of the fact that those vessels are blocked. Once they're blocked, you basically, if total block, you're going to die because there are 20 minutes you got to go through. But a lot of time when heart attack is, you have still partial blood can flow through. So you start getting all these symptoms, heart, chest pain, tight chest. That's the time that you got to go to the hospital as soon as you can to get medication to relieve this pressure and release the blockage. So that's the reason why you really got to understand if you're diabetic, you have a high blood sugar damage artery, increase the clot formation, and then you have double the heart attack risk. Now, certainly with diabetic, because the blood vessel and heart muscles can be damaged due to blood clot, and also the heart artery, which is what we call arteriosclerosis. Also, never saw you might have damaged heart before, so start getting heart scar muscles, or the blood vessel becomes swollen. All that can trigger heart attack because of all that. The heart doesn't pump effectively, and when it doesn't pump effectively, the blood doesn't go through the right vital organ, then those organs will die. especially if your blood vessels are swollen, and then you become more strain to the heart to pump, so the heart become overstressed, and that's how you get the heart attack. Now, those are really understand. If you're under the fact, net result, you are not gonna, it would not do those, crazy thing in the sense of stressing heart. So diabetic and pre-diabetic gotta be very cautious. You get 50% more chances to get heart attack. So how do I do to prevent this? Well, you have to really focus a healthy lifestyle. Like, for example, you have to have healthy diet. You have prioritize, make sure you got a lot of fruits, vegetable, whole grain, lean protein. Don't eat too much red meat and not processed food like hot dog and stuff like that. Importantly, really drink Lowsutea, and you have to drink 1 glass before and after every meal. So with that, you take care of yourself, lower the cholesterol, lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure. So 3 high are being lower, then you'll be healthy. Now, with that, you have to also manage your stress. So manage your stress meaning that you got to be able to have a good relaxation, exercise. You have the hobby to protect your heart. So you want to have enough sleep. So you have enough sleep won't stress your heart. Overall well-being is so important. And you have to manage your diabetic very well. You have to always look at, wow, how is my blood sugar doing? Make sure that is your A1C are lower than 614, and best is only below 6. Now, exercise is important. Every week, you got to do 150 minutes of exercise. And then you have to able to, best is walk, I would say, not to run. And then you have to, every day you do exercise that will lower your blood pressure, cholesterol, and that result in lower potential heart attack risk. Now, you have to minimize alcohol and avoid sugar drink. In other words, the bubble tea, forget that one. And you should drink slight wine, but not too really big alcohol whiskey. Now, you smoke, unfortunately, you gotta quit smoking because smoking does cause heart attack. And plus, you're overweight, you gotta manage that, meaning that your BMI over 30, you gotta go down to 23 BMI. And then you also, very important, control your high blood pressure. Now, every day, if you have a heart problem, do measure blood pressure in the morning and the night, and also middle of the day. So net result, your blood pressure is always under 130 if you're elderly. Normal person, your systolic could be under 120, and then diastolic under 90. And so net result, that is so important. So focus your health with new lifestyle change, definitely you will do better. Now, you might ask, oh, wow, if I go to the doctor, what should I ask? Well, you ask them, okay, what is your personal risk of getting a heart attack? Do I need any tests? And make sure you look at your blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, EKG, and okay, how many diabetic other condition might affect my heart? Now, if you go to a cardiologist, a lot of times they do echocardiogram, so ultrasound of the heart. All that will help to identify what is the blockage of the heart. And also, do you need to ask, do I need to diet change, your physical activity, what's safe for you? Is it walking inside? Walking is very safe, but you got to make sure to do it, okay, daily. And how can I manage my stress and sleep better with my heart health? Like, for example, do I have apnea? That is a question you have to ask, and that doctor has to send to check apnea test. So with that, you can able to see, okay, by apnea, I need a CPAP machine to help me make sure that no air block, so I will have stop breathing while sleeping. Those are important. And so you gotta understand what is a heartburn actual versus a chest pain. Now a lot of people misunderstood this. Oh, my stomach don't feel good. It's just a heartburn. But actually he had a heart attack. And I saw many of that in the emergency and ICU. So really at the end of the day, you have to look at all that and then able to understand, and maybe you can also join some cardiac rehabilitation or prevention program that you can join, understand better your heart condition, so you can change that and prevent. Because once your heart stops, you are gone. So don't get your heart to stop. You have to be really continue to make sure you're a healthy heart. Now, how Lowsutea can help your heart? Now, Lowsutea very interesting. because it does help you regulate your blood lipid, lower your blood sugar, maintain cardiovascular, improve overall physical fitness. Because what happened is Lowsutea actually lower your LDL cholesterol, and then net result, they taking care of your sugar out, taking care of LDL cholesterol out through urine, they dumped it out, and then lower your blood pressure. So 3 high are being lower. And then also, it has no sugar, no calories, and basic net result, it really help you to get better healthy eating habit. Plus, they're rich in antioxidant, and that is also boost metabolism. So drinking Lowsutea can really boost, improve your body energy. Basically, it's extremely good stuff to continue daily drinking Lowsutea. And reason why drinking Lowsutea can be very important is because they dump excess LDL cholesterol, remove through the urine, help you maintain the cholesterol balance in the whole body. And on top of that, Lowsutea can effectively reduce your blood sugar, better LDL cholesterol lower, and also protect you from also lower your blood pressure because it dump all the salt out of your body through the urine. So your salt go out, your blood pressure will come down. So net result, especially for people who actually need to do that, like diabetic patient, drinking Lowsutea daily is so important. And that is lower your 3 high. If you lower your 3 high, the chances of you be healthy will be very high. And now, also, how you drink Lowsutea, you're supposed to drink 6 to 8 cups of Lowsutea daily, support your heart health. You need to pair with your healthy diet, a lot of vegetable, especially a little protein with fish, and your starch will be more brown rice, red rice. And you need to have regular exercise and pay attention of the sugar intake. So no more bubble tea. And if you can able to take Lowsutea every day, the chance of sugar going up and cholesterol going up is much more lower. So that's something that you do all the time. And so in conclusion, heart attack are serious, but it is preventable if you know what to do, and you need to change today, start today. And you need to know what triggered a heart attack, why unhealthy food will give you stress, unhealthy food will give you stress. Also, your environment will also give you stress. So unhealthy food, because you eat a lot of like fats, oil, that stress your body. Now, emotional and environmental stress is also important, will also stress your heart. Now, you also have poor sleep. You only sleep less than 6 hours, not 7 or 8 hours. So lack of sleep, your heart pump faster and more stress. So really can give you a potential heart attack. If you have smoke, plus all the, diet, all that, blocking arteries, that also increase your risk of heart attack. So you really just do some daily changes, like for example, your portion control, food is a lot of greens. You don't eat a lot. You have you basically cut down your red meat, and you do regular exercise, and also eat all the protein like fish, white chicken meat, not red meat, and then you red rice, brown rice. All these things add together to give you a big, gigantic health benefit for you. And you have to understand and recognize all the warning signs like pain, chest right here, and that radiate up to the neck a lot of time. And look, also have muscle pain all the way to the back on the left side. Now, and also you start getting shortness of breath. Now, a lot of time you have pain, but might not have shortness of breath, or sometimes you have pain, you have shortness of breath but no pain. All those signs is not to get you to just see a regular hospital. You go to emergency. And you have to partner with the doctor to understand if you have that problem, who I call, where do I go? All that has to be in your mind or your family, and understand that, wow, I have that issue. Where do I go? So all those are prepared. So net result, if you get that in the emergency, the chances of you survive is much higher. And certainly important to continue drinking Lowsutea, because you drink Lowsutea, it does improve your cardiovascular health and get you to be healthier. So today's webinar is extremely good to help you to better understand what is the heart attack and what is the sign and symptom, why it will cause heart attack. So you can now look at that and prevent yourself to get into that predicament, get a heart attack. So let's follow through, drink Lowsutea, you have to exercise, don't smoke, don't drink that much of the alcohol, eat a balanced diet. So all that will help you to basically become much healthier and less the chance of heart attack. So thank you very much. To continue to, if you have any question, do write to us to Andy, ANDY, at WAHFONG.com, or WhatsApp us 852-6792-8891. A lot of people do write to us and would love to hear from you guys. And I think it's so nice to able to communicate with you, and then you understand, we can better understand what you'd like to learn more, and we can able to get you lecture for that. So net result, we are going to be very happy to continue to work with you to get you more and more understanding what is the important information to help you to become healthier. So good. Have a nice, very nice weekend. Thank you for you spending time with us to learn about heart attack. And I don't want you to get one. Make sure you take care of health, and I want you to live a long time, enjoy your family, enjoy life. Okay, thank you very much again. I see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, next week might not be having lecture because we have Christmas holiday. So after New Year, then we'll see you, and you can enjoy your Christmas holiday. So take care. A happy holiday. Merry